Hello, everybody, and welcome to another My Music. I nearly lost my voice straight at the beginning there, which is a bit odd. It must be the multiple cups of coffee that I've drunk today in order to stay awake at this early part of the year when the skies are very dark, very, very early, and it makes you feel tired, doesn't it? Let's hope that spring is going to be just around the corner. It's not, of course, but there you go. I've got the wonderful Mina, all the way from Bronze, coming to talk to me today about her life in music. But first, we're going to have the dancing cat.
Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop.
Mina, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me here.
So much for joining me. Before we just came on, we were just having a little chat about my dog, because I said that my dog's called Trooper. You've sung Trooper by Iron Maiden.
Yeah, I absolutely love Iron Maiden. If you mean, I've been singing it quite sometimes, but I guess it's the most recent one, and it was that I was participating in a Christmas jam, and it was a metal Christmas jam.
Wow.
And when we ended the set, it was like, should we do something for fun? And some of us jumped on stage, and we did the Trooper. Some others did other songs. It was okay. So I just posted the first verse because the rest of the song was a mess. I gotta tell you. That's the secret.
That's honest of you.
Yes,
That's really honest.
But the first verse is like, yes. And then it was like, oh, yeah. But it was a jam session and it was improvised in the moment. We didn't.
When you say it's a mess, what, like people went off into solos and stuff like that, and it just okay.
Yeah, I mean, from the people were having fun, but inside the stage is like, and you get the cross views with everyone, and it's like, don't kill me. I don't know you, but don't kill me.
Oh my word! I love that. Thank you. That's so raw. That's so honest. That's so lovely. But do you know what? A part of music is about just having fun as well, though, isn't it?
Absolutely, and it's one of the hardest things to have present, basically, because it's very easy to fall into a wheel of perfectionism and ambition and never being satisfied. And I gotta say that now and from time on, I'm recovering that. Okay, it's about having fun. Stop spinning. So yeah, I don't care that I up on the Trooper. It's like, so what? I was having a blast.
Well, the point is with the power of editing and social media and everything else, like nobody knows that. Everyone just saw your 20 seconds of magnificence and they fill in the blanks. Yeah, exactly. That's it. People just fill in the blanks. I mean, it's like I put some of the best bits of this up on my Instagram. The rest of it might be absolute tosh, but it doesn't really matter because people probably just watch the best bits all of the time. So that's the way things go in the modern age. How long have you been making music?
Oh my, I am 33, 30, oh, it's 35. I'm taking years off already. I'm 35. I decided to want to make music since I was like 14, 15, something like that. But when I was a kid, I was playing with my keyboard. It was like a little toy keyboard, and I was playing around in a toy guitar. Toys. It was like a game for me, and I was doing my songs. But when I was a teenager, I decided I want to be a musician. I want to be a singer. I tried to be a drummer. I tried to be a guitar player. I tried to be, pass. And it was like, okay, now singing. I want to sing because I was putting it as an excuse, basically, because I was not confident enough of my voice, of like shy. Okay, I can hide behind an instrument. But I started my journey around those teenagers, so around 20 years.
Wow. There you go. Well, what was a young Mina playing? You wouldn't have been playing a metal music back then.
When I was a kid, no, I was just songs, something that I was hearing somewhere and I was not recognizing. Like we have a story. My brother is also in the band. I drag him. He's the bass player, and we were always playing to play, like it was a game. So there was this time that I was playing on the little keyboard, and I was like, "Oh, I did this amazing song," and my brother was like, "No, this song is da da da," and it's like, things that I was picking and then reproducing, and it's like, okay, I can recognize the melody and some words, but then I was making my own music because I didn't have the full access to that. So that was the growing up. And then when I discovered heavy metal, I decided that I wanted to do heavy metal, and it was I didn't have any hesitations in that. It's been
No.
always metal. Yeah.
Well, now tell me though, when you were young,
Mm.
who were the first kind of band that you fell in love with? I mean, it might be quite embarrassing now.
No. It was Iron Maiden, so I'm safe
It
on that.
was Iron Maiden.
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
there was some few embarrassing bands that I'm not embarrassed because they are part of the
Yeah,
history
yeah.
that led me here. But
Was
the
there a
first band,
pop band, a boy band, anything
no,
like that
not
in there?
really. I mean, for example, I was very much into him or the Rasmus or bands
Oh
like that
right, okay, yeah,
because
yeah.
it was the bands that were accessible, yeah, for me. And some people were back in the day were trying to shame very badly, and there were some others that were very supportive and getting you into, oh, if you like this music you may like this and this and this and that.
Yeah,
I discovered Iron Maiden, and it's one of those that if you link back, and I was reading about him back in the day, the guys of him were very much into heavy metal and Iron Maiden, and they started like that, and it was like a connection in some way. Like,
of
okay,
course.
yeah, of course, makes sense. I love Iron Maiden. These guys love this, so it makes sense. Funny enough, I forgot about that the existence of that band, and it was very criticized back in the day. But I found just last week a video of him doing a whole show of King Diamond songs, and it's
Oh
like, what,
really?
from the early days,
Yeah.
like 96 or something like that. And it's like, what the, because I had no clue about King Diamond when I was a teenager, rest assured. But
Yeah.
but I discovered Iron Maiden. The first song that I discovered was Blood Brothers because somebody sent it to me through Messenger, and I was like, "What's this?" Like, I know that I've been hearing this band before, but I didn't know where to identify it. And then it was like, oh, it makes sense when I've been hearing it on movies or this or that. It was like, so this is heavy metal. Okay, it's been all my life in here, but I didn't know,
I
and
love that.
my life changed right there. Blood Brothers. Yes.
Absolutely. Was there anybody in your family when you went down the heavy metal route? Was there anybody in your family that protested? Because I know, growing up in a Christian household, right, when we started getting into heavy metal, we got all of the sort of like backlash about it's the music of the devil. And was there anyone in your family that protested when you started getting into heavy metal at all?
My family was super supportive. We grew up in a very, very cultish village. But luckily, my parents were very relaxed. My grandma was very much into religion, and she was, like, the devil is going to get you, and it's like, here I'm waiting. But in terms of music, they never complained, they never interfere. In fact, when I was like, hey, I'm discovering these bands and I'm really into this, they were very supportive because I didn't have an easy teenage era. It was not good, and I guess that seeing me finding something that really put some energy in me, and it was like, okay, I have something that makes me very passionate, and I believe in this and I love it. My mom was like, okay, you want to go to see Iron Maiden, I will try to make it happen. And to this day, my first concert was in 2006. I got to see Iron Maiden, I was 16. and
Wow.
and recently I was talking with my mother, and she was like, I'm still sad that I never got to see Iron Maiden. She doesn't know much of Iron Maiden, but she got into the energy, and it's like, wow, they are so cool and they are so great, and so yeah, they were very supportive with that.
Oh, there you go. We used to have people at that one point. We used to have people like appear with these tapes from like preachers who were talking about. I'll probably get in trouble for saying all of this, but the tapes from these preachers, and they were talking about backmasking. The fact that if you played, do you remember, if you played the record
Yes,
backwards, like
absolutely.
you get all of these voices of the devil or whatever. Move on a few years. One of my favorite films ever, Little Nicky.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
with the scene, the Ozzy Osbourne, the scene, and him playing sort of Ozzy Osbourne, and they're like, oh, is there backmasking on it? It's like, no, Ozzy always came straight with his messaging, and then he puts the Chicago record on, and it's like fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
Yeah,
beat is amazing.
it is. It
Yeah.
is. But I think there was a period where like people were a little bit like that about heavy metal. It seems to have like disappeared now. Really,
No, it has not. It has not.
no, it's not.
No, the thing is that I've noticed that because I've started doing live streams on TikTok recently, and I have like my little radio station there. So I
Yeah.
take a couple of hours per day, and I'm playing my favorite music, or I accept requests. And I've noticed that we've been so brainwashed by social media, thinking that we are safe with our little cradle and niche of people that we know, and then that connects us to people that know this person and this person that are also
Ah,
connected. And it's
true.
like, oh, everybody's safe and inclusive, and they respect me. No, I get people of all sorts on my live stream, and the algorithm does like curation. I hate that word, but well, I like it, but it's very trendy. And for the most part, it's people that are into metal or are curious or respectful. But there's some people that is like, the devil is going to get you, or wash your hair, or stuff like that. And it's like, does this still exist? Really?
Wow. Wash
It
your hair.
wash my hair. Excuse me. Ridiculous things. I got one yesterday, and there's some people random, like very very prodigious, like um if you're dressing like this, you're a boy. The Christian things are the less offensive ones, honestly, but there's a lot of people that still see metalheads and alternative communities like the devil, basically, or like something to avoid, something negative, something evil, something less intelligent. It's ridiculous.
Wait. Hang on. Let's rewind there a minute. If you're dressing like this, you're a boy. Where does that come from?
I know. It's like what? But they've been accusing, like not asking, like, are you a transgender? And it's like, that will not be
Oh,
or of your business. But it's like, seriously, and saying, oh, when I finally speak and they hear my voice, it's like, oh, so you're a girl, and it's like, okay.
I
like
did
I
notice on some of your posts that you know, quite rightly, you're a little outspoken on, how a woman can dress, especially if she's in metal, etc. as well, because quite rightly, as you point out, not everybody has to be half naked.
I don't give a flying fuck how people dress. My problem is that, and what I'm very vocal about is that there is an over sexualization that is used for marketing and leaves us completely aside music. And that is my
Yeah,
problem. Because
yeah.
there's a lot of people, men and women, that, hey, they are half naked, they are owning their stuff, they try. It's not my thing. I am the least sexy thing ever. But there is, and there's always been, and that is fine if they want to do that way, and it comes from their real charisma. That is perfectly fine by me. Like Wendy O. Williams was naked,
Mm.
naked. She had her tatas out, and and many other people out there, men and women, and it's perfectly fine. The problem is that nowadays it's like, oh, we are so oppressed, but they are selling sex, and they are claiming that is empowerment, and they
And
are
do you know what?
slaves.
You see it on every platform. You see it on every platform. I do a lot. I do a lot on a business platform called LinkedIn,
Mm.
and you see it on there. The women that will show a fair bit of body, and then say, "Oh, but I'm getting all of this unwanted attention," right? And you know,
Yeah, go okay. Like,
it's like, well, I look, I understand. Like nobody should be commenting in that way or reacting in that way or getting into people's DMs and being, a filthy pig, whatever, right? But you have to ask yourself the question as well: Do I need to? Do I need to do this? And why am I needing to do this? Right?
exactly.
If you're doing it because it's genuinely part of who you are, and or if you're doing it because you want to make a statement and whatever, be accepting of the fact that you're going to get some stick for it, right?
This is very easy. When I started dressing like this, I was not I was not going like with a chainmail headdress, but I was a metalhead dressing like a metalhead with some, very visible. And I was growing up in a very small place. Then I moved to another city, and
Yeah.
obviously there were people looking at me, but I never noticed because I don't give a damn because that was me. I have an anecdote. I had a store and I was selling this type of clothing, and there was a little girl, like she was 16, something like that. And she was hanging around a lot, trying to learn from me. And one day she was like, "Can I accompany you to this square? We are going in the same direction." And I'm like, okay. So we were going, and she was like, "Everybody's looking at you." Oh, yeah, yeah. And it's like, really? And I didn't notice. But she was so self aware,
Mm,
feeling guilty of what she was wanting to dress like. And it's like, but if you own it, you don't give a flying. If you want to be naked and you are sure that you want to be naked, you don't bother about if others are looking at your body, if whatever they have to say. It's about self-awareness. And people are going to sexualize and make the creepiest comments about anything.
yeah. No,
Anything.
absolutely. I've had on here before, which you might find quite interesting. We had one artist, and uh, she does quite a lot of festivals in the UK where everyone plays naked.
All right. Oh,
Yeah, they're naturalist festivals, and she does it as a naturalist, but everybody there's naked, which is cool, right?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
If they are into it, good for them.
absolutely. But as you know, as she said when she came on, some people think it's a sexual thing, and they just, they don't understand.
They can send them a clip of Gigi Allen. Like, hey, naked doesn't mean sexual.
Definitely doesn't. Not in this house, anyway. There you go. What are you working on at the moment with Bronze?
I'm preparing some possible live gigs. Working on the agenda at the moment because, yeah, I am relaxed with the material that I'm working, new songs and stuff like that. I really want to play live because I think life is too short, and I've been very focused on writing music and putting it out and not enjoying. And this year I want to play more live, and I'm preparing some tours that hopefully are gonna happen or not. We'll see. And yeah, this particular month from now to March, I will take it to get ready and rest. Also because I'm having some health issues and I need to recover. And then from March, I hope that we play a lot.
Cool. Cool. Now listen, I want to get onto the name of the band. We had we had a little brief chat about that before you came on, right? Do you know, in my head, when I think about Bronze, I actually don't think about coming third, which is what some people will think about. I actually think about brass rubbings. Now that might sound a little bit
About what?
obscure.
Sorry.
Brass rubbings, right? Now this is something that perhaps people never do these days, but when I was a kid, this was a big thing. You used to even be able to go and buy brass rubbing kits from the likes of WH Smith's, which is now a completely different name in the UK. But brass rubbing was when you used to go into churches and things like that, and there would be these metal inlays in the floor of like knights and things like that, and you'd put down a bit of paper and you'd get these different sticks, and they'd quite often be bronze, and you'd rub over the top, and then you'd get this picture.
Oh, I love that. I've
Yeah.
seen that. I've seen that a lot, and it's something that I was interested in doing because it's very artistic in like reproducing that. I've seen people that do that type of thing with graves as well and things like that,
Yes, it's
and
kind
I
of
love
got
it.
kind of a historic kind of nature to it at the same time, and you're it's quite visceral, as an art form as well, and you have to sort of like trace round, but you feel like you're taking an imprint away, you're taking something of the building away. It's really cool. There you go.
Yeah, well, I never thought about that. I didn't even know the term, but knowing that, it makes me even closer because I like all that type of uh, how I don't know how to define it, like ethereal, mythical, something, like
Yeah. Well, what I was thinking was that
a bit of magical in real life.
maybe Bronze the band could actually bring back brass rubbing.
I hope so. If you've seen the aesthetic of the band, I'm
Yeah.
very much into that type of medieval,
Yeah, exactly.
semi-occult, mysterious stuff. So the whole church thing, and all of that, it fits very well. Even if it's nothing about religion, all the scenography and stuff could belong on a Roman church, honestly. um when I was working recently on a very special box set, and
Okay.
I was painting, carving, and gluing it, all of it myself. And I was looking at it and thinking, this could be something that my grandma would pray on the church if it was not, with a heavy metal aesthetic, but it could belong there. And so the brush rubbing, I will take notes on that. Yeah, it has nothing to do with that, but now I will add it to my lore somehow.
Listen, folks. If you're watching this at any point, if you've got any bronze, brass rubbings, you know, in your house at all, and you can photograph those and you can send them to Mina so she can put them on the bronze Instagram or something like that. Then
Something, please.
one of you might get a little something from Mina.
Yeah.
That would be brilliant. I just
can
love
work
to
on
get
it.
people involved in stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it is something that, for my band Bronze is very important, the artistic aspect, the do it yourself. So that part of doing something with your hands and reproducing that image, for me, is like, oh, it makes a perfect connection in the whole sense. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Cool. Now listen, I've asked this of many people before, but I do want to ask it of you. What's the one song that you haven't written yet that you think you should?
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is very important. Um, I try to think of my music as epic heavy metal, in a way that many songs are like traditional heavy metal, pa pa pa, Maiden, Saxon, Judas Priest, to the point, and then others have that more epic side, like Manowar, Warlord. Well, this is where I fight the stereotypes of the genre, because that type of songs usually are very long, or at least, mid long. But I have a problem, is that I write very short songs,
Right,
very short.
right.
So I have an
Not as
inside
short as
joke,
Napalm Death. Not that
not
short.
as short as Napalm Death.
No.
I'm aiming at them. Look, but but very short. And I have this inside joke in my realm, that every time that I'm saying, "Oh, I'm writing this epic long track," everybody rolls their eyes and is like, "No, you're not. It's going to be like 3 minutes maximum. Choose 59. Mina, we know you." And I've been trying and trying, and I thought of many songs being over 6 minutes, and they ended up being 3 minutes. I still have to write a proper long song, longer than 5 minutes.
Yep.
And that's one of my things, like an epic track that is over 6 minutes. I don't care what is it about, but something that allows me to go a bit beyond and add more melodies and expand myself. That is on my bucket list.
In the same way that sort of like Iron Maiden in latter years have got a bit more proggy in some of their yeah. So okay, this is the next question on that then for you. If I could take one sort of maybe sort of proggy stroke rock type musician to work with you on this epic longer track that you need to do to break the sort of 6 minute barrier, who would you pick?
Oh, thing is that I have the musician at home, because he's in my band. Because I used to admire Cedric a lot. But if we are outside this, because he also has other projects and he is right my alley, that's why he's here. But anyway, okay, that's a tricky one. But if I could travel to the 80s Joey DiMaggio Manowar and get that raw essence, epic atmosphere that Manowar were getting on the epic tracks,
Yeah.
so that's, yeah. But I mean, I like to work alone, and I think Joey DiMaggio works alone, so it will be a clash. That's the problem.
But that's where you would, that's kind of in your head, if you go down that kind of route, that's kind of where you would like to take it. You'd almost like it to be a little bit of a homage to what was underrated back then and bring it into now.
Yeah, it's a huge influence. Yes.
I like that. Good. I think that should happen in 2026. And what would that song be about? Do you know what that song would be
No
about?
idea. No idea.
No
Because
idea yet.
I don't have rules for my lyrics, and whatever
Brass
from
rubbings.
yeah, or it could be
Yeah.
because I like to how do I say this? I like to talk about things that are not easy to decipher at the first listen, and many people assume that this is it's a bit to compare this with Dio because he is the greatest of all time, and it may you know, but Dio had this magical thing that I feel like I can relate to him, and is that he was writing about very common and basic things sometimes, and it had this aura of mystic epicness, fantasy, and people were like, "Oh, he's writing about dragons and fantasy," and he was not. He was writing about things that were casual life things that happen every day, and I do that sometimes. Some of my lyrics can be about whatever.
I've got it. I've got it.
Even thought about
I've
writing.
honestly, I've got it. I've got it
Yeah,
right. So,
yeah.
so you, so you
I
have a character. This is the character for the song, right? You have a character in the song, right? Who's going around the world doing brass rubbings with their bronze, right? And stopping off at all of these famous medieval sort of crypts and everything else. And then the characters that they rub come to life, and they then get involved in modern day things that are happening in the world.
that will be absolutely fantastic. And I actually,
That would
I
be
don't know
great.
how to say this in English. Don Quixote, is that how you call it? The guy that was fighting windmills.
Don Quixote.
Yeah, Don Quixote in Spanish,
Yeah.
but I don't know how you guys pronounce it. When I was a teenager, because this is very similar. I was asked in high school to write a tale of Don Quixote, how it will be nowadays. But that was in 2005, and I made this tale of Don Quixote being in the actual day and getting into fights on a bar and getting dragged and many like a crazy scenario, very campy, very over the top and funny. And I won a contest. So it's a bit like coming to life, and a bit like the story that you were telling. It has some similar things. So that
Ah,
is funny. It
I
can be
think we got
made.
I think we got the start of something there.
Yeah.
I think that could be it. That's brilliant. What other than the playing live, etc., what would you most like to see happen in 2026?
Personally, I would like my health to come back because I've been
I
struggling
think we'd
struggling.
all like that, wouldn't we?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it affects my singing basically, and
yeah.
I've been struggling for a long time. Basically, to put it very short, I have a lot of tension and inflamed things in my body, and that affects my muscles and tendons and nerves and many things. And I don't feel 100% myself, so I cannot explore the ideas that I have in my in my head for composing beyond. I can sing them, but I cannot perform them the way that I
Mm.
want to. So that is what I want right now, because that will unlock a new level of creativity that right now is not is dormant. It's like, hey, not for now. So
Cool.
that's why I'm
You do
concentrating.
realise that you may get an influx of people who have got alternative remedies and everything like just coming at
Oh, I talked about um once in the Women's Day. I talked about bringing visibility to endometriosis, which is a very hidden illness that many people like me we have, and it doesn't get attention because it's basically gynecologist problem. It's basically the reproductive system. And I made a post because I was tired, femininity and empowerment, and it's like, can we bring awareness to real problems for real people, real women? And I made a post, and it was just, I'm tired. I was coming from the doctor, and I was very tired. And the amount of comments that I got of, I have a remedy for you, I have this magic solution, and it was all this placebo cult people that sell
yeah,
remedies and stuff, and it's like,
yeah,
are you
yeah.
fucking kidding me? That made me very angry. So yeah, there's a lot of that type of assholes in the world. making business.
Well,
out of
I'll tell you what. If they want a real remedy that they could send you, is they could just buy some CDs.
yeah, money, so I can pay the surgery, please. Buy my kid, pay my health.
buy the stuff she's already got. You know,
Yeah.
don't send her more. She doesn't want aloe vera plants. No, got enough.
Oh
of
yeah,
those.
I had somebody that was claiming that drinking aloe vera juice will cure cancer. So
What?
yeah,
What? Yeah.
yeah,
Right. If that was the case, why have we got millions of highly trained scientists around the world spending hours and hours and hours?
yeah, exactly.
Come on.
That's a very, very cruel and dark world there.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
so. Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, Mina. Absolute pleasure. Mina is from a band called Bronze. You can go and check them out now. In fact, if you take your thumb, if you're listening to this on Spotify, and you move it down about an inch, probably not even that, actually, because telephones aren't that big. But if you just move it down and press the button, there it is. There's the music. But don't stop there, because listening to music on the streaming services that are available, good though it might be, and a great way of introducing your friends to new musicians, etc., it doesn't make them any money. So don't just do that. Actually, check out Bronze on the Instagram or whatever platform you can find them on, and then click on the bit where it says merch and buy some stuff. It's brilliant. It's a really strange but fantastic idea that if you give musicians money, they can actually make more of it. If you don't, then they can't. I know, hard to believe. People, and this is true, Mina, it's a modern mythology. Some people believe that in the little boxes that inhabit the corner of the room where the sound comes out, there's actually little people inside banging away and playing guitars, and that's where the music comes from. It's utter nonsense.
Yep.
But there you go. Or that it's all made by AI, which is actually where you'll end up if you don't support proper musicians. You'll just end up listening to stuff that machines make, which will be awful. I'm just going to say, because machines don't have any experience of human life, and they can't therefore put any of that into the music they produce. It's clever, AI music, but it's utterly shit. And there we go. Thank you so much for coming on. Sorry, I have to end with a rant, because that way certain people who think that all music grows on trees suddenly then understand that it doesn't.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Hopefully. No,
Yeah.
absolutely. No, it's been an absolute pleasure to meet you. Thank you for coming on. If you've enjoyed this today, please do go and share with your friends and family, or anybody else that would perhaps like to broaden their musical horizon. We will be back soon with more of my music, but from Mina and myself, thanks for listening today. Bye for now.